Hey guys, this is Aisha Shelton.
And this is Kevin Shelton.
Welcome back to the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Today is 2/2/22.
2/2/22.
It's not.
But that is an interesting date.
It is an interesting date.
2/2/2022.
Oh, I said it wrong, didn't I?
No, you said 2/2/22, which is still the same thing, but it's one more two in that too. 2/2/2022.
But I missed a date. 2/2/22.
I mean, sometimes people abbreviate the dates. They could be 2/2/22.
It was wrong. 2/2/22, 2022. Never mind. It was a really good day yesterday for something astrological.
There was a baby born in room 2 on the second floor at 2 p.m. at 2/2/22. It was in the Guinness World Book of Records.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, it's pretty crazy.
What other cool things happened on 2/22/22?
What else? What else happened?
Because you always got random facts, so I know you got stuff.
It was just yesterday. It hasn't been long enough.
I know. So I saw stuff on social media nonetheless about
the Queen died. I don't know if she died.
Who died?
Queen Elizabeth.
What?
Yeah.
Who else died?
Probably lots of people.
That's not funny.
I mean, it's true.
That is not funny. Oh man, she died on 2/2/22.
I don't know if it was 2/2/22, but I know she died like yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday was 2/2/22, or
That's
before.
That's when it came out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she died yesterday or if they delayed the notification.
So it could be on 2/2/22.
I don't know about that. I know that it didn't come out till yesterday. They typically do hold back the news so that they can enact their plans over there.
Got it. That's fair.
So I don't know.
That makes sense.
We can say it though. She died on 2/2/22.
We can't.
Just don't know that.
We don't know. Okay,
Ain't
so
nobody listening to this podcast from the Queen's side. Queen don't give a fuck about the podcast.
she might. Well, not anymore.
F-bomb. Put that back in my pocket.
Put it in your pocket. It's not 2/2/22 today, but yesterday was, and that was kind of
2/2/2.
Oh, you saw it.
I just saw the
Good luck. No. So is it luck? Is your success, can it be attributed to luck, or what do you attribute your success to?
The harder I work, the luckier I get.
Ooh, that's not always true though.
That is true.
You could be the best darn fry maker at McDonald's. Just because you work hard doesn't mean you're gonna be the CEO of McDonald's.
Here's the thing about that.
All right, break it down.
There's hard work, and then there's just working. Some people just be working.
They might be working hard at what they do.
There's a difference. Hard work and working hard, two different things. Some people just be working hard. They don't hard work. That's a different thing. And I'm not knocking fry makers at McDonald's, but anybody who's that good on fries and anticipating the next drop and whatever wouldn't be on fries very long.
Anticipating the next.
I'll give you an example. I went to Starbucks this morning, and when I went to Starbucks, they made my drink wrong. So I brought it back in the door. The second I walked through the door, which turned out to be the manager, but she was like, I don't like people walking in with their drinks. That means we did something wrong. She personally corrected my drink, personally told me why. She's like, they changed the menu, blah, blah, blah.
Got it.
Whatever. But her service was exemplary. And I had to think to myself, I was like, man, every time I encounter somebody who works in retail or service that has excellent service, I'm like, why do you work here? And what you realize is the reason you see so few of those people and you never see them in the same place for long is because they rise above whatever role they're currently working in because they are really good.
Yeah.
So if somebody was really good on fries, they ain't going to be on fries long. They're going to be the manager here soon.
Okay, I'll take it. So we're on the tail end of Black History Month.
That's true.
One of the conversations that we've been having, and you can stop me if you're not comfortable in having this conversation, but the difference between success with African Americans in real estate or minorities in real estate and Caucasians in real estate. Is that what we call it? Yeah. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think we have to do differently, or what are some of the differences in what we do that I've heard you say before comes so much easier?
No, It's not that the actual work comes so much easier. Actually, we work much harder than a lot of other groups. I
Okay.
think the reality of the situation is it's access to opportunities and benefit of the doubt. So as Blacks in real estate, we have far less opportunity from a capital standpoint, and we don't get as much benefit of the doubt. So there was a newspaper article a couple of weeks ago about a doctor who just started her career, walked to the bank with a super big check, and they called the cops on her.
It was in Sugarland.
Scrubs,
It was
like
in, yeah, yes.
Well, why would you doubt that somebody walking into a bank with scrubs was lying about something? That's benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
So the difference between Blacks in real estate and other people in real estate, I'll say other people, because it's not just a white thing.
Okay.
Is we have far less benefit of the doubt. So whatever transaction size, buying something, all the things that come with real estate, it's hard to believe it coming from us. And even when people see us, the biggest question people ask us is, it's just y'all? Like, it's just y'all doing this? Or
right.
Who's this unseen other force?
Right.
Because it's hard to believe. The only reason it's hard to believe is because there's an inherent prejudice that comes with our race. Now, that just is what it is. It's no point in like crying about it, but is it something to work around? Sure. If I was white, if I had a white face, we wouldn't be on this podcast. Our business would have blown up so big, we would not have the time.
We barely have the time for this podcast right now.
Well, that means we're doing real good and we're working real hard.
We are.
But the reality of the situation is we could work far less if we had different skin. And especially with our backgrounds, we would have gone twice as far, half as fast. Or twice as far, twice as fast.
Twice as far, twice as fast. Okay. What about 22? What about with financing? What kind of obstacles have we come across in financing, and what do you think those are attributed to?
I think it's a couple of things. So in financing, it's very much the area that we operate in, which is a historically Black area. So if that's a thing. It is a part of our background and race. That's definitely a thing. And it's also there's an inherent disbelief in, well, I just said, our background or whatever, but there's an inherent disbelief in Black people having the ability to execute on a high level. So,
really?
1,000%.
Interesting.
And I've experienced that in my career. Like, I've met people along the path, and what you find is there's two types of Black folks in corporate America, right? Or two main types. And I'm gonna super duper, what do you call it when you generalize? I'm a super generalize. So forgive me. There's overachievers, like high achievers, and then there's bluffers. Right? There's people who work real hard because they know they're gonna be doubted. So they work extra hard to always make sure they know their stuff and they're on top of it. And then there's people who faking the funk so hard that they always make it seem like they're doing more than they're actually doing. Right? So every time you talk to them, it's like, oh yeah, man, I'm about to da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, man, I just did. And it's always a story.
Yeah.
And then the overachievers get results. But the problem is, they work so hard that a lot of times they get caught in the weeds of it all. You know what I mean? Like, we get overlooked for lack of touting our own abilities versus somebody who doesn't really have the abilities but touts anyway. And that's the difference. You see what I'm saying? Like, a bluffer gonna go, yeah, man, I just closed $1 million deal and have every expectation that the next $1 million deal is gonna come, compared to the person who, I did a $999,000 deal, but I was $1,000 short. So I can't say I did $1 million deal. I've done a $900,000 deal, and then now I'm doubting myself on, can I do $1 million deal when it's only that $1,000 difference? But we're so hard on ourselves. That little bit of gap between what we're accomplishing and where we want to go, and it's imposter syndrome is a big struggle with that. So yeah. So you asked me a whole question. I gave you a whole thing outside of your question. This happens all the time.
I don't remember what the question was.
Well, your question was, what do you think, what our struggles have been in financing? So
you got another answer?
I just say all that to say, so when we get in the spaces where we need access to things like capital or banks, we got to overprove our concept, or we don't have an actual concept at all.
Yeah.
And it's one of the two, but either way, it leaves us out.
Here's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Like, it's so sexy to invest in your neighborhood and give back, go back to the hood and give back and do all of these great things. But nobody hardly ever talks about the barriers that come with that, right? Because first and foremost, we're a business, and we get into business so that we can make money, right? And if we're not in business to make money, then we're a nonprofit. And there are nonprofits. We do work with nonprofits that do what we do in the neighborhood that we do it in, and they are not for profit. The business model is completely different than what ours is, but it's really, 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 really shiny to buy the block, invest in the neighborhood, but what are some of the obstacles that we're experiencing? And I'll tell you, even back in our just as investor days where we were doing fix and flips, we would do that. We would go into our neighborhood. We saw the value because we see the value in our people and the people in the neighborhood, and know that they deserve a quality product. You know what I mean? A beautiful home, quality product. And we would go in and do that with the right heart, you know what I mean? And just get our legs cut off at, let's just say, appraisal. Right. And so now we are stuck with this very beautiful house that we put all of this love, care into. And what we have is a deficit, which is a problem as a business. It's a problem as a business to have a deficit. Right. So
you just got to win on the text. Go ahead.
I'm speechless.
I'm sorry.
I saw the text.
That's money on the text.
I saw the text as well. Right, I saw the text and I didn't read it because we were in the whole middle of a podcast.
I'm sorry. Ooh, that check just hit me in the chest.
All right. Okay. Well, that's good. I can't wait to read the message. Maybe I won't wait until after.
It's a check for you in that message.
That is beautiful too. Thank you.
Sometimes it rains, sometimes it
and now I'm speechless. See what happens? It's like either you ruining my I cannot.
Yes, you can.
What am I talking through?
No. You were talking about when we were flipping, it was hard to get the values. We do this big, beautiful house, and then we'd be left holding the bag because people do subpar work.
Congratulations on the money, Kevin.
Congratulations to you too, Aisha.
Jesus Christ. Okay. And so anyway, we would be giving back to the community, and we'd be, Black builders giving, renovating beautiful homes as we were in our renovation days, renovating beautiful homes in our neighborhood. And as a business owner, look, I still have a family and a mortgage. And so when I'm having these issues, it begins to either not make sense or we have to do something different. Yep. And it's so hard because other people will come into our community, and I'm not speaking about any particular race. I'm saying everybody but us. Yep. Okay, so I'm talking about clearly everybody but us. But they'll come into our communities, they buy the homes and renovate them to the most minimal standards, yep. Right? And then put it up for lease for our people to move into. And we didn't really like that, but we also didn't understand the game.
Well, I don't know if it's not that we didn't understand the game.
The game crept up on it. I think we understood it better afterwards.
Well, definitely, we understood what the game values after. Because the problem with that is it's a delicate dance between value created and valuable in the market. And you have to pick where you want to be. Because I can't live behind a subpar product.
No, and
even if it's profit.
And that's why Park Street Homes is what Park Street Home is, because you build a quality product and you can't not build a quality product. Yeah. So what that turned into, so us as flippers specifically wanting to work in the neighborhoods that we work in and give back in the neighborhoods that we give back in, instead of Kevin changing his standards to meet what the minimum is for everybody else, literally the bare minimum, we had to change the game plan and say, okay, we still want to work in this area because we see the value in the people, we see the value in the property, and we see the value in the area, right? Which most people won't. And we did that, but we just had to do that in a different way.
Yeah, I think, it's literally a situation where everybody else was playing football. And when we played football, it didn't work. So we started playing hockey. Now, here's where God comes in. We turned the whole neighborhood into an ice rink.
That's true.
On them hoes.
You're not supposed to curse.
Well, the reality of the situation is, I'm thankful more than anything because on our new construction product, the value was there. And we've been able to do really well in the market. So the theories behind does the community value it has held true. Mm-hmm. Now, do the other folks, the financial institutions, the appraisers or whatever, did they value what we were doing to restore the community? No.
Right.
But they have to value the new development because there's nothing like it. So establishing a market, now you can't do anything but respect it. And that's the difference. I think it's very much like what Tyler Perry was saying is, folks go out to LA and try to sit at somebody else's table and you got to build your own. Mm-hmm. We had to build our own in the community in order to sustain our business.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot to that too, because we could have just went to another side of town and did the same thing and made money. So I think we learned the lesson I've learned, and I'll just speak for me.
Go ahead. Look at you using the I in the most appropriate time.
There we go. I'll just speak for me. I've learned to be open to whatever those other opportunities are.
Yep.
Because what I recognize is, while you could make money at home, sometimes you got to go away to make money too. And it's almost like working a job. And I guess I've had to look at it like that. If you work for a company for years and years, all you'll get is that 3% raise. 3%, 3%. But if you leave that company and you go to another company, then you get the big jumps.
Yep.
And even if you come back to the company you originally worked for, now they got to pay you at whatever rate you're at from that other company. But sometimes you got to leave to come back and be valued.
That's true. That's true. It's true. Yeah, I think that in this market and in this community, we lead with heart. Yeah. And we led with heart when we first started out, and soon recognized that it takes a little bit more than heart. It takes money and strategy, right? And so we have to make sure that, because when you talk about going to different neighborhoods now, I'm like, man, if we just pick this house up and put it in a different neighborhood.
Honestly, that's what everybody told us. They'd be like, can you do this where we want to be?
Right.
Because we don't want to be here. And I think that, that's a pride thing. It's like you want people to see the value in where you've chosen to put the value.
That's a your pride thing, because honestly, now that I think about it, I'm like, maybe we can get the girls to put their feelers out for land in particular areas and give it a try somewhere else.
Oh, sure.
I would love that.
Now we're open to that. I think,
I think it was low hanging fruit, honestly. I think we knew how to do, we know the area. We knew how to do, we knew what to appeal to in this market. But I think it's time for a challenge. And I think it's time we take that Park Street product and put it in a place where we can get double the profit.
I mean, we're already doing that.
True.
So the reality of the situation is we already got products coming in other sides of town. That's the exciting part, is through growth, through partnership, through scale, you're able to achieve the results you also wouldn't be able to do on your own.
Yeah.
So, I think that everybody goes through that journey in their business where they got to find a sweet spot between what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And what works for them. And then you have to be around a supportive community to help you, whether it's pick you up when you fail or, build you up when you get there. So when you get to that place where you can just recognize, hey, maybe I don't have it all figured out. Maybe I need to try something different. It's important to be able to pivot instead of panic, like you always say. And I'm happy that we did that. I'm happy that I'll take the I back. I did that, and that you encouraged that. And now we are, where we are from a company standpoint. So
that's true. I don't know what 22 had to do with this conversation, but
we spent 4 minutes talking about 22.
This has been the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast.
We out.